It's heating up here in our first series of the day here at Flashpoint 2, and a treat to be feasting our eyes upon indeed. Not just our trophy, but of course, Fnatic taking on Dignitas VIE. And even more excitingly, this is a rematch from the group stage. It's going to be interesting to see if Dig can claim any revenge over their Swedish counterparts.
Spoiler, it wasn't a good first round matchup when we saw that one. That was the one where they just completely got destroyed by Fnatic. Obviously, you'd hoped, despite the disparity in the rankings, that, you know, they're both Swedish, the shared history of some of the players, even the fact that I would have hoped it would mean like Arian and Heath would feel a bit more comfortable in the game. I'm sure these are players they've played Faceit games with. They've played in some of the like inter-Nordic scene games, etc. But it really was like the rankings were taking part in the match themselves.
Yeah, let's start off by talking about Fnatic. I think we need to talk about one of the elements that we were chatting about before, Christine. Of course, they are now in this boot camp together. We know that when they come together, the comms are improving. I was chatting to Golden about it, and he was saying it's much easier for the guys to be communicating just about those little things when they're in the same shared space together. So do you think this is going to be a defining factor coming into this game?
Oh, that's such a nice shot coming out from Brolan. And, you know, that's kind of been the story for Fnatic is Brolan has been Mr. Consistent. The superstar youngster on this squad has been showing up time and time again. And for Fnatic, I'm not going to lie, things have looked a little shaky because, as Duncan mentioned, the last time that Fnatic faced off against Dig, it was a 2-0. But let's not forget that Inferno. Yeah. It came down to a 16-14, barely a victory. And even on that Dust 2, which I think it might even be played again here today in this series, it was a one-sided scoreline, but the scoreline was just that, only a scoreline. They were close rounds. Heath, he was starting to heat up, and we even now have seen Heath having a fantastic series versus Fours in their very last series. So now Heath, all of a sudden, a new page turn, confidence brewing, and that means so much for a new young player coming into the scene. And now, I mean, I'm expecting him to peak angles with even more conviction and even more confidence.
Yeah, let's touch upon the shakiness of Fnatic to be starting things off. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this, Duncan, of where we're seeing these little jitters coming out from the Swedes.
Well, you notice there was no clip there of Crims. And Crims only a couple of years ago was one of the best players in the whole world, and consistently so. Like, if you ever watched his POVs, you'd never see the super crisp headshot aim that Brolan was pulling out. It was just super consistent. You spray him in the body and the head. You just always get your job done. You always hold your angles. You reposition. So for me, he was the bedrock of the team. That then allowed Brolan to be a little bit streaky. That then lets JW and Flasher get up to what we know they're going to do all the time. So I feel as though in this team, that's what they're lacking at the moment. Like, Crims hasn't been that good a player for me in this tournament. And I do expect him to get better as the playoffs go on. But if he doesn't get better quick, I think they're going to be fine in this matchup. But against the big dogs, they're going to need him a lot.
Yeah, definitely a question mark indeed. I think the craziest thing about Brolan is we saw him a couple of months ago celebrating his 2-year anniversary with Fnatic. He's only 18. It's absolutely nuts. You can see a guy like this having such incredible form from such a young age. Incredibly impressive.
Yeah, and even over those 2 years that you mentioned, Freya, he's been like a sponge. He's been getting all the best qualities and experience from Flusha to his right, JW to his left. He's surrounded by the best of the best legends. So definitely, I mean, the personality that he's showing in that server, it's top-notch gameplay.
Well, of course, they will be taking on the men from Dignitas VIE in this first matchup. And we were talking about it earlier, Christine. You feel like potentially we might see a new face of Dig after that win against Fours. Tell me why.
It might be hopeful thinking, Freya, but, you know, we've been talking about it from Flashpoint 1. Halzer, you see his clips here, and you're gonna continue to see so many clips from this player. He seems to have that mechanical edge. He seems to be a superstar in the making, but the consistent factor, it's been missing. He has been showing up sometimes, missing in some rounds, so the impact and his value coming into this series, I'm expecting a lot from this player, and Dignitas are absolutely gonna need him to step up.
I know, Thorin, you weren't necessarily agreeing that you think you're going to see a new face of Dig coming into today. Are you on the other side of the coin for this one?
I'm going to give you a spoiler. The reason I put Potter on this game with me is because I knew if anyone could see the light and the hope for Dignitas, it would be her, because I'm here to make sure they get that fucking work. So this team has been, I think, really underwhelming. They barely crept through against a Forza that, by the way, it telegraphs every player they're going to do, and they still almost lost to it. They looked dreadful in the game against Fnatic the first time around. The score was all right, I agree. Like, there were times they had chances, but Fnatic also was like playing way under the average of what I expect for them most of that group, and still almost messed around and won it. So one of my big problems is it's got to be the guy on the left. Like, we saw one clip of him, and that was on CT side with the Deagle, so that shows nothing about his style of play. It's got to be this guy Harry over here on the left, because I don't know if we've got some stats or some sort of thing to play right now, but basically this guy is like the team generally, in terms of fragging, is, I think, the worst of all the playoff teams to enter the playoffs in terms of like overall rating of the team. So in terms of raw input in the server, there's almost nothing coming from these guys. And when you bring in these two newer guys in Heath and Harry, you're bringing them in essentially to do some damage. Like Heath obviously was the big fragger, but in terms of Harry, they brought this guy in the hopes that he would be an entry fragger to replace Freiburg, that he'd be rushing in, he'd make the tactics work. All the things Vendetta and Freiburg are trying to do aren't going to work if the entry fragger is minus 72 over double-digit maps. Who do you think you are, Fifth Lauren at ESL 1 Cologne 2014? This guy's called Harry. I think they should rename him to Hare Krishna, because he seems to be a pacifist, and if we went to the lands again, he'd probably spend most of his time around the airports.
Oh my goodness.
Duncan, you're too much. You're too much.
There we go. It's all right.
we need to talk about these
Bring it
two
back
new
a bit.
additions.
Dial it down a little bit.
Let's go back over to Christine. You know, maybe not the mean Christine that we know, because I know you were speaking about Harry and Heath and the firepower that you were hoping they would potentially bring into this. Of course, we haven't seen that consistency, as Duncan has been alluding to. So where are you looking for them to be stepping up, coming back to face Fnatic today?
Duncan demands the best of the best. He demands perfection, and I admire that. But we have to keep in mind that Harry and Heath, this is like their very first time playing versus the quality and the caliber of teams and players that they've faced up against. The way that they react, the way that they peak angles, all of it is going to change dramatically here in the next few months as they face up against better players, better teams than them. So Heath, he's a brand new player. There's absolutely no history on the guy. They found him in a public server, in a pug, and he impressed them, right? So the storyline is insane. I think that if Heath and Harry are able to turn that page and make a name for themselves, I think their entire storyline, it's incredible.
Well, we were talking about one of the members of Fnatic earlier, and it was Brolin, and Yuumi has a specific round he wants to highlight the player's impact from.
So I've decided to look here at Fnatic's Inferno and just how they utilize Brolin in such a crucial position. You're going to see in this round, it's against Dignitas, so aptly going to be the most relevant for the information here. But as soon as they lose Flusha over towards Banana, they instantly try and get Brolin through the arches to try and capitalize on the space. This is something I picked up on and noted previously for the Fnatic matchup against Mad Lions, and it's still something that Fnatic are hoping to exploit in Dignitas as well. So now when we look at round 11 for Dignitas Fnatic, same game, same map, just a little further into the game, is that we'll see they start off pretty well in a 4-on-4 or a 4-on-5, but Freiburg's severely low HP. They bleed out a lot of time. They'd shown some presence earlier towards Banana, and again, they want to try and utilize Brolin towards the arches. They're going to throw a flash to allow him to round this corner easily. He'll find this first kill on Freiburg, and he just continues to wrap the site. Brolin mechanically has all of the pre-aim, understands exactly which angles he needs to clear in this particular entry path and entry route towards the A site. And so playing reactively or playing as a part of a great mid-round call or a late round call for Fnatic is really the best place that they can utilize him. You'll see in his own POV when we switch over to that, just how mechanically skilled he is in these particular duels and just how much of a weapon he can be for Fnatic in the late round. So this is just one of the many win conditions that I feel like Fnatic will have coming into this game. Whether Brolin is going to have a fantastic game or not, he's going to be set up in these ways where he can best utilize his mechanics and all of that additional pre-aim to maximum effectiveness. But for now, back over to the desk.
Thank you very much, Yuumi, for that insight. Potentially, we will be seeing Inferno picked into this series, and I think with that, we can start to get into our map vetoes. I know you had a few ideas of exactly how this one was going to play out, Christine.
Yeah, I did, and you know, you mentioned Inferno, Freya, and that's my biggest worry coming into here. Are we going to see a deja vu? Because for Fnatic, they do tend to lean into that Inferno, but if we think back just a little bit ago, when they faced off against Mad Lions and had that rematch, they got bamboozled the second time around when they picked Inferno. So this time, I'm expecting a little bit something different. For Dignitas, the veto for Mirage, it should be coming out. Fnatic, they should be vetoing out that nuke. And for the picks here, I'm thinking Fnatic go with Train and Dignitas, they go with Dust 2 once again.
The main thing here is, obviously, yes, it is the Fnatic comfort pick of Inferno. I don't care about those two games you're talking about. The Mad Lions games, they aren't playing Mad Lions. Dig wasn't terrible on it, but Dig is terrible generally on this map, so I wouldn't even hate going into that. I feel like it's an easy one to secure if you're Fnatic. On the Dig side of the equation, I do think they can go almost anywhere at this point in time. Like, I don't want them to go to Dust 2 again. I think that would actually be a nightmare. Even though it's a map they pick a lot in series, it just doesn't feel like like it worked for them. I thought they almost got smashed by fours on that at one point in time. They got it together at the end, but you're not playing fours now. So I would agree. I would like something like a train pick. I feel like that would throw a little bit of a wrench in there for Fnatic guys.
Yeah, and for Dig, I mean, they might even turn and pick Inferno themselves right under Fnatic's nose. So a lot of options, I think, for both of these squads. And one of the problems for Fnatic coming into the an Overpass pick, that's
very
a curveball.
bold.
That's
now,
a curveball.
Now, to be fair, this is a map that on occasion a team like Dig might veto out, but it's not something you expect as the Fnatic pick. So this actually suggests to me that they're just coming in themselves with, like, we're going to do something you don't expect at all, and they've put in heavy time on this map, I would assume.
Interesting. Yeah, because we did see them start to pick it out again over that DreamHack RMR event. It was normally like the third map in the series. It wasn't necessarily their pick in the series. So
the big issue, unfortunately, is like the only real map that Dig actually looks competent on is Nuke, and that is the one that's been banned out. So really, like, they can go with the surprise angle, but they can't really be confident they'll win the map they pick now.
Yeah, that is definitely Dig's biggest issue. Oh man, this is interesting.
This is a
Picking
reach.
the Vertigo. This is a reach for real, because if we even think back of Fnatic, this Vertigo history with Fnatic, they used to always auto veto Vertigo. Then starting about 2 months ago, as soon as Astralis picked it against them as a punish pick, Fnatic turned around, bamboozled them, and they've been winning on it ever since. So this is a confidence play, a power play, I might even say.
This looks like a demo research. This is you're trying to say what Mad Lions said yesterday. You're saying, I've watched all your demos, I'm going to have the setup. So you better have at least if you're picking it.
Yeah, I think that's interesting about Vertigo as well, because you were saying, Christine, that even though we've seen Fnatic letting it float, it's never really been their pick in the series as well, and that's why it's so impressive that we can actually see them winning it out.
Give us the Inferno decider.
Yeah, where do you think it's going to be Inferno?
I think it would just be polite to. Sadly, at this point in time, if I'm actually Dig, I might do what Christine said. I might just go into train.
No, they go with Inferno here. Surely they go with. Oh.
Nope.
Wow, this
Dig's going for the complete. They're like, listen, if we can't play Counter-Strike, no one's playing Counter-Strike. So just play all the maps that no one plays. Let's just roll the dice, see where they all fall. Chips fall where they may.
Well, where do you think it will fall after that? Because that has literally blown all of our expectations out of the water. Do you think Dig must have seen something if they're going to be picking into that Vertigo?
They must have, but man, do Dig need a lot of things for themselves to go right here, because all three of these maps 100% are Fnatic's playground. Now, they don't have the best win rate across all of these maps, but the amount of times that they're playing it and the amount of times that they're willing to pick it into their series says a lot about them, and especially this train being that third map. If it gets to a third, I feel like it's going to be impossible for Dig to have a chance.
All that Dig have on their side is the surprise element of you didn't know we'd pick it, and we've watched your demos. That's all they have, because after that, these are some of the maps that officially they have basically almost never played. They played like once, twice. Like, they don't have the experience on it. So I actually feel like you're putting insane pressure on the aforementioned Harry and Heath. Like, they're going to have to massively perform, basically in a fairly uncomfortable set of circumstances. So I favour Fnatic heavily in this series.
Well, if it does potentially go to a third, it will be that train for that decider map, maybe potentially going there. We just don't know yet with these map vetoes coming out. But you had a particular moment that you wanted to pick up from train specifically, didn't you, Christine?
Yeah, this is going to be Flusha's antics that I needed to highlight and point out. Right before he beelines it out that lower ramp, he was hiding and hugging that smoke, biding his time. And look at the pace that he's picking up. Pushes through the smoke and is rewarded for his antics with a 2K. And this is kind of the unpredictability factor. This is Flusha doing Flusha things. But what you don't see is the conditioning that Flusha did for the 5 rounds leading up to this point. He was poking and prodding towards that inner, figuring out exactly the tells of that inner player. So he makes an audible and makes a play like this, and Fnatic end up winning this train by a huge scoreline. So this is kind of that experience that I talk about with these Fnatic members. Individually, every single one of them can have a huge playmaking ability like this and turn around completely, like Flusha just did in this one.
Yeah, and I think that must be what is so scary for Dignitas coming into this one. The experience and skill that Fnatic have on their side versus, there are some incredibly experienced old guard players on this Dignitas VIE side. But as you were saying, Duncan, Harry and Heath may be the deciding factor in this.
And also, like, the guy that everyone takes for granted on the side of Dig that will be good is Forest, and he hasn't particularly done anything in this tournament. It's one of the worst tournaments he's had in many, many years. So at the moment, there's not really, aside from Halzerk, anything that looks like a guarantee when you come into the server. So I think a lot of people have to turn their game around. Hopefully, Vendetta's really gone deep on these demos, and he's got them some interesting setups or something that he's found a weakness, because I don't feel like man for man they can match up.
Well, before we get into it, we've of course got to take a quick recap of our pinnacle leaderboards. After yesterday, I think I might be hanging my head in shame. I'm down there in the red. As we were saying, our forfeit for the blind spot on Sunday will involve multiple people this time. The bottom 6, I believe, will be taking part in that forfeit. Potter, feels bad, man, for you down there on that minus.
Feels real bad. If your head is hanging down, I'm on the floor, Freya. I'm on the floor, and I don't know. I need a hand getting up because I'm pretty deep down there. The weird thing is I would be on top. I would be number 1 right now if Refresh didn't push Ivy yesterday in a 5 versus 3.
I hate how smug Maui and Alan are right now in the green room. Like, it could have been a grand final of the entirety of Flashpoint. They were so hyped for VP to be getting that win. But of course, it's a new day. You know, Christine, there is an opportunity for you to revitalize your... Actually, all of us up here on the desk, we're all down in the bottom 6. So let's speak about that. Let's take a look at our odds for the game yesterday. Of course, these were the ones that we were betting on for this matchup. 4.56 for the side of Dig, 1.21 for Fnatic. I think that is very fair, just looking at the history of these teams.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, in theory, you could be higher. It's just that I think, again, they're going to take the factor in of, like, well, they know each other and there's maybe an angle like it'll work. So I think those are about as high as you're going to see for a matchup in the playoffs, let's be real.
Well, let's bring in our wonderful casters to cement some of our predictions here at Flashpoint. It's, of course, going to be Semler and Anders joining us for this first game. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat with us. Talk us through your predictions. What are you thinking for this game?
I mean, just the odds make it so tempting to go for that Dignitas pick, and I don't know, the maps are so weird now. If we'd known that before, and maybe you would even be more tempted to just say whatever. But I went with Fnatic. I couldn't. I want to get out of that bottom 5.
Yeah.
Listen, I was sitting in a room with last night, the PC room with like Hawka and Maui and those guys. They're just going deep dive into this match in terms of like who's got the edge, who's not. And then Maui's just like, listen, Semler, Fnatic are boot camping. This is not going to be the same team. They're going to absolutely destroy them. And I was like, fair enough. You sold me, Maui. That's it.
All right.
I'm just trusting our analysts on this one.
Did you realize
this? And you can see I put all my points, 750 on Fnatic. So if I lose this, Maui, I'm coming for you.
Just going to say the last part of his name is Snake, just to point that out.
he is a snake in the grass sometimes.
I'm wondering whether James Bardoff has gone with Dig. He hasn't, because he was the firm Dig fanboy earlier on in the groups. But maybe he learned his lesson with that horrible forfeit he had.
I think he just sold out everything he believes and represents just to try and not do another forfeit, just because he was so humiliated last week. He was like, right, at this point, I'll do anything to stay out of prison.
Well, I think that is honestly fair enough. I'm pretty terrified
totally
for this forfeit
with
coming into this. But I think with that, we can begin to get this first map underway. Gentlemen, take it away. It's going to be Overpass to start things off.
Yeah, thank you, Freya. Listen, Bardoff in prison. What a throwback. All right, it's gonna be Overpass coming up, ladies and gentlemen. I really think this is gonna be interesting. Because I did put 500 along with apparently everybody else on Fnatic, but part of me kind of, I kind of emotionally, I actually do want to see Dignitas do this. Like, it would be cool to see them put it together and just shock everyone. So I don't know. I'm always kind of a fan of the underdog, I think, and there's no doubt that Dignitas are in this one.
I mean, the thing is that yesterday we were going into it, Envy nearly squeaked it out of big. You know, and that was almost equally as big a an underdog scenario there. Between Envy and Big, and well, we've got Dignitas and Fnatic right now. In fact, Envy, Legia is the second lowest performing player in the tournament so far. Dignitas
Who's
currently
the lowest?
have the lowest.
Oh dear.
Harry. So it's there's a lot when we're talking about it on the desk where it's like we need a big performance out of Heap and Harry. It's like, yeah, we really do need to see a bit more out of Harry here, because right now Dignitas are struggling for individual firepower. Nobody's really stepping up on this team.
I did not know that, but that is not an encouraging stat, Semler, to start off the whole best of 3 with. Oh, speaking of which, though, he'll get the opening kill in the series. That's not so bad. He will go down afterwards to Crim's. Heap back here. He's impressed me so far, and he nearly could have got that kill on Golden. He had the time for it. Instead, he'll go down. The bomb is being planted. It's a 3-on-3 with the health favoring Dignitas, but they're still losing people left and right. Freiburg alone, 1 versus 3. And yeah, they're going to run him down. Golden with a triple.
What? Where does that come from? And how calm.
Yeah, they were low on health. They were actually getting beat up, Fnatic, but they just didn't act like it.
That looked just so casual. Just lining up shots. Oh, no rush. Oh, he's shooting at me. Yeah, it's fine. I'll just take my time. Crosshair on head. Click.
Yeah.
Yeah, Golden. Okay, this is it. Just using his teammates as bodyguards. That's, human shields. This is a winning strategy, Anders. Used, since time immemorial. Golden, as the in-game leader.
Got to
do it.
Send them out front. Send the Irish.
Yeah, there you go. They cost less than arrows.
Dundgren was reminding me of that earlier. Obviously, for, you know, to no one's real surprise, that was on Dundgren's mind.
Well, we always, you know, there's never a dull meal here at Flashpoint. You know, we
Truly
got
not.
the cafeteria kind of thing going, and yeah, it's good times.
I like this push out from B. This makes so much sense. People do this. People used to do this. I think Astralis made this super popular when they were doing it in pistol rounds on the CT side. Oh, that's a shot. Actually, Brolin's also getting attacked from that. But the reason why it makes sense to go B and then push into sewers and then go back into connector is that you're sort of already rotating to the A bomb side. And if you don't see anyone in sewers, I mean, it's not 100% confirmation that they won't be, somewhere else around the B bomb side, but it's a pretty safe bet in a pistol round or in a round like this. So I think that's what they wanted to do, but unfortunately they got sort of stuck in there when Forest went down. And I think now, in spite of the early damage, still in some trouble here on the CT side.
This is where it gets a little bit difficult for you. At least you've tagged them up. And with Deagles, man, Deagles are just so lethal now at every range, it feels like. This is a little unfair. But with 30 seconds on the clock, Brolin's going to rotate back around to mid. And are they actually mad? Are they crazy enough to try and rotate to B?
It's definitely scary to do that. I mean, we can tell that no one is there, but obviously they don't know that on the Fnatic side. So if they really went for it, that would be a problem, I think.
Dude, they've rotated down to B. This is nuts. Fnatic are going to slow walk up onto A, and nobody is here.
It's actually not even such a bad call for. I mean, obviously, it's a bad call in the sense that they went to an empty bomb site, but from Dignitas' point of view, that's just a coin flip, right? If they, because it is possible the Fnatic would have done that, and then they would have had 3 people there, and it would have made a lot of sense. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing. It's hard to even really argue that they should have done anything different.
That's where you get that god tier read kind of, in-game leader. Oh my God, Freiburg's sinking to the Matrix.
Yeah, like I mean, you hope for that, right? And you probably feel like they're running the clock really low. Yeah, so they could have done that. But Fnatic, I think, smartly winning by just waiting out the time and actually reading Dignitas pretty well. So good stuff early on here for the Fnatic side. They're going to be looking pretty good going into it. Not so many kills early in this particular round, but fair play.
This is worst case scenario for Dignitas. I think they really wanted to just win that pistol or at least get an upset here. Not let Fnatic build that confidence early on. Again, it's worth pointing out that Fnatic are boot camping right now. They're pretty much all together. So we're going to get rid of that element of them being spread apart, maybe them not taking it as seriously.
Oh, I think it makes a huge difference. We were talking about this yesterday, so evening at some point. I mean, if I was running a team in this online era, I would just make that a thing. I'd just say, like, we have to, like, find a way to do this. Because I think it just makes such a huge difference. Whereas, normally people are traveling around so much, they're not going to have a lot of time to boot camp anyway. But in this current climate, I think it's kind of important if you wanna have some solid performances.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Where big, big like teams like Big who all same nationality, same language, they're going to be all in the same area.
Liquid are all together now.
Everybody move, everybody there. Yeah, Liquid now they're together. Didn't work out for them really in Blast. They didn't make the cut for the finals, but. I think they've got the global challenge coming up, so they'll be trading for the next 2 weeks. They're not going home yet. They're going to stay here.
I believe so.
I mean, that's got to be amazing for North American teams coming over here, because it's just so dry in NA right now.
It is, yeah. For the minute, there's yeah. I mean, hopefully this will just sort it all out, and they'll get some motivation back. I think that's going to be important.
One hopes.
A single flashbang down there at the B bomb site for a setup that looks like it will never happen. But again, I mean, you're just at the mercy of this kind of thing when when you don't have the weapons to go explore. So I think this is all fine. I mean, would have been more fun if the actual trigger had been pulled down there and they'd gone through the tunnels and the flashbang would have set it all up. We all want to see that. Just didn't happen this time. So just have to call it off and save the armor and the deagle and the flashbang, even if you really want to be really tight with it. But regardless, yeah, I mean,
he's already taken damage.
Oh, has he? Well then.
In the sense that he doesn't have perfect armor.
Yeah, he can't upgrade it, for free.
There we go. So, taking down Golden, that is still not the rifle, though. And they're going to swarm onto this. All 5 alive. I like this from Dignitas. Running a little bit low on time, so they'll have to be careful. But here we go. Crossfire is established for Fnatic, and they're just going to be able to pick Dignitas off at will. One after the other. They fall. Can they keep somebody close enough to take this bomb out? Forest with the MAC-10, no less, going to pick up another kill.
That's great.
That's $600 bonus he wouldn't have got otherwise. That's really nice.
Yeah, they did some damage, I think, and yeah, just maybe trying to confidence play themselves a little bit into the game, saying let's go fight them. Like as you said, if they already take damage on the armor, maybe it's kind of just worth it to do it. Obviously, you have to pay to get the helmet at that point in time or pay more. So 3-0 in favor of Fnatic. 4th round is coming up. We've got that AWP on Holzerk, which I think that, if anything is going to save Dignitas in this, it's going to have to be a star performance from him and other people too, but certainly Holzerk, when he's playing well, is great fun to watch.
Ooh. Flusher straight on through, looking for the jump, looking to punish. And it's just a bunch of wallbangs. There it is. Oh, and he gets... did he get distracted by Crims jumping in front of him? Is that just a timing thing? So unfortunate. They even go for the double HE onto Heath.
They've done so much damage already to both. Yeah, you're right. Both Heath and Freiburg suffering from that early aggression. And it's, I mean, it's still 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. So on the other side, Brolin is playing a solo game with the Krieg. Counter boost coming up. Oh, the timing! Well, both ways. The fact that they actually went for that looked like it was going to be perfect, but he just made it around the corner. Harry picking up Flusher. And Flusher is actually incredible at taking that fight down in the monster tunnel and doing it solo. He does that a lot, and I would kind of consider him an expert at some stages in just being that lone assassin down at the B-bomb site.
Just being incredibly obnoxious. He's probably... Well, we're going to see here. Nice shot by Holzerk. Drops the crosshairs and takes Golden out of it. So a 2-minute advantage now for Dignitas. But, as far as Fnatic are concerned, and Flush is concerned, he's probably trying to make some confidence plays himself. Because he's currently the lowest rated player on Fnatic. So, I mean, it's obviously going to be tough with guys like Brolin and Crims who are dropping like 1.3 ratings. But he might be trying to get some lurk plays in there, trying to get that feel back for himself.
Man, JW, if he'd looked at the tunnel, he would have caught both of them with their backs turned. Brolin needed that double spray down. That would have at least got them the bomb plant and a 3-on-5. Or sorry, 2-on-3 here, but still, they're in some trouble here. Nice little pick off, making it slightly more expensive, but time has simply run out. So JW, yeah, he's gonna just try and see if he could stay alive, get the AK into the next round. But that's a really cool round out of Dignitas. You gotta appreciate that. Picking up 2 AKs as well. Well, I think actually the kind of play that Flusher was trying to make here is you can sort of glue that back into what Christine was saying earlier on about Flusher pushing through the smoke on train, like that clip that she was showing. I think that kind of that goes to sort of Flusher's style of just doing things where you think like, well, it's hard to predict if you're defending in there and you think like, why is there no flash to follow that up? Why is there no smoke to set up that peak for him? Just walking in there, very, very hard to read and could be very, very annoying. So I've seen, oh, a little bit of a dink. I've watched like there's this game that Fnatic played against the Astralis lineup a long time ago, and I've watched that game like 10 times, and I think Flusher wins a fight against Glaive like 8 rounds or something on the T side. Just doing that, it's so obnoxious. So I definitely would watch for that if you're going to be watching Flusher on this map. It's worth looking into.
Dude, Dignitas right now are really struggling on this B defense to not take damage. They're trying to get information. Harry down to 9 through the smoke.
Speak of the devil.
Dude, they're getting pummeled. They haven't even seen anybody really.
Oh, they're going to gamble the A-bomb site. Fair play. I like this. This is actually cool. I hope they follow through with this. Yeah, everyone A. You've got 2 people that are low. It's a 4-on-5, so normally you wouldn't obviously go for just a complete gamble like this. But in the context of it, if they go B, you save the rifles. If they go A, maybe you can stay alive. And there are no HCs or Molotovs either on Fnatic, so those 2 players that are low aren't, at least they're not going to get blown up. Heat with a nice shot. They need a lot more than that right now. 35 seconds. Freiburg, bit of a nice crossfire there to take down Flusher. And now with the Molotov coming into it, although they're not quite ready. He wanted to set that up. Even JW pushing through, and I think any danger here is probably gone now as, yeah, Heath just, they know where he is. He's pretty much boxed in. In fact, JW pushing to make sure he's never getting out. That's aggressive. He's 8-0, JW.
Play, man. I love watching this guy play.
I know. It's so great, isn't it? He hasn't died yet.
What a monster. 8-0, and despite Dignitas going for the gamble, despite them making that play, it does not pan out for him.
Yeah. Wow, all right. It's also tough because that shot that JW got, that was their warning that it's A. They're like, oh, so we didn't even like get a real, like any chance to reply, at least on that front. I still think it's a very good call out of Dignitas, so credit to them for trying it, but yeah, it's hard when JW is hitting every shot.
Yeah. Don't worry, Freiburg is doing a me impression right now with the Deagle.
Listen, I actually don't think we're to blame. I just think when they handed out deagles, and like I think it's in the source code of the game. Some of us have deagles that just don't work. So
Okay,
stop bullying us.
Argument. I can get on board with that.
I have that same deagle. I know Jason has that same deagle. Some of them just don't work.
Oh, second one, ready for it. Flusha gonna get a bullet to the face, but he will not die. And in the meantime, oh, the peak, the timing. Flush is definitely close enough to hear these, though. So he should be, again, they're going to try and set it up. And there's quite a bit of defense here on the B site. Fnatic, though, they're still, with 5 alive and quite a bit of utility to use as well, they could just go for the full execute onto this site, and it should go fine.
Yeah. Even that would probably work. They're being very slow and measured, right? For a team like Fnatic that is never really short of confidence, no matter what, they're playing all of this really smoothly. They're making like calm decisions. They're not, you know, because you're right. 5-on-3 versus pistols. I'm sure there's some version of this team in the past that would have said, "All right, let's go, let's fight." You know, rush them down, kill them all. You know, and now like it's actually I think a good sign that they are, you know, managing to stay a little bit more in control. Probably, I would guess, you know, again, Golden, you know, with some of that leadership, which again, I think he's quite a valuable player on this team. So. Need someone every once in a while to rein in the madness of JW and Flusher and all the rest.
Oh, just embrace it.
Look at this.
Embrace the chaos. There you go. Dude, when J-Dub's on top, like, this is going to be so tough. Oh, what a perfect flash, though. The peek comes in from Harry as well, catches him lined up, and JW just cannot miss. Another shot for him. Man advantage for Fnatic. Doesn't see the man behind him, though. Oh, he's going to lose his head. Yep. The smoke just barely covering Friberg there. JW not going to spot him in the chaos.
How did it take so long for Friberg to see him? I'm so confused. Friberg inside. Oh, what a lineup. And Forrest helping out with the other one. I am actually impressed that he managed to defend this B-bomb side. That was about to just spiral out of control. Losing that first player, and then even the fact that JW hit the second shot when he was just crouched on this ramp. Brolin, though, 1 versus 3. And if there's anyone on this server right now you don't want to underestimate, probably it's Brolin. He is such a monstrous player. Many people, I think, including both of us, have said something like the future of Swedish Counter-Strike, and it is looking like that's definitely still true. Sneaking down here, he would love to find just even 1 kill before he gets anywhere near a bomb plant, but they have smartly fallen so far back that that's not going to happen. 1 versus 2 with a bomb down is so different from 1 versus 3. It is going to get planted finally, and yeah, he's just stuck in here. Can't really get out. He's going to get 1 good kill. Almost a chance for another one. Again, never count him out, but it will be Dignitas picking up the round, and a very important round of this. They need to go on a big winning streak right here. Look at the money on Fnatic, even losing that round. It's going to be fine. 8,000 on 2 of them, 7,000 on Roland and Golden. They've got so much money. Yeah, but this flashbang, like you pointed out, is incredible.
It's the perfect peak right behind it. It's so difficult to counter because you're just trying to push up there. I was taking a look at, yeah, positive 37 KD going into this match. Brolin, he's at a 1.24 rating. Yes, yeah. Do not count that guy out of any situation. He is going to be a threat. He is hitting shots so far this tournament. Absolute monster. Him and Crim's pretty much neck and neck right now for Fnatic. Just goes to show, I mean, the staying power that some of these stars on Fnatic have as well. JW again, just barely missing. Not a second time. Come on.
But again, just the boldness of pushing that far in, running the whole distance with the AWP, just saying, again, it's just pure mind games from his point of view. And you could even tell from, I think that was Heath who was sort of, you know, making the swing into his crosshairs. Heath had no idea that was going to happen. It's only the fact that JW didn't hit the flick, but otherwise he was going to get caught, just probably wondering why was he there, you know, that early on, just charging in. Anyway, JW's low on health now. Friberg's taking a bit of damage. The bomb is on the other side over at the birthday party, so for the minute they've left Flusher alone down here, and even he's falling back.
Dude, Hauserk, he's going for some combat opping. This is going to be a bit dicey for him. He's infiltrated enemy territory. He is completely surrounded now. They've just cleared this restroom out, though, so he should be able to get a freebie. Catches Crims, but now he can't get out of here. He has to land the shot on JW, and it's just not going to happen. Forrest alone on the A site. Now Brolin Needs to be careful. Doesn't want to overstep too quickly here. Try to get the teammates in here behind you to help you out with the spacing, with the trade fragging, because, I mean, you're a monster, Brolan, but you do need a little bit of help every now and again.
We're trying to body block that. Brolin will take him down right afterwards. 15 seconds on the clock, and Forrest actually coming out with a big shot there. Brolin just going to continue his terror here. Double kill for him. Bomb goes down, and Heath and Harry... The problem is, they have a diffuse kit, but they don't have a smoke. And when it's planted the way that it is now, you actually need a smoke to even get close to doing that defuse, unless you're just going to try and find all the kills, which, again, that's sort of hard to do. Golden does go down. Harry actually picking up the kill. Brolin, though, looking for his third. And so far, I think they're all headshots as well. So, Harry, I don't know. I don't even want to look for more kills. I think at this point, it's not going to happen.
I think Brolan heard me, and he's just like, shut up, Similar.
Yeah.
I don't need anybody.
Don't need help at all.
Casual triple kill, all headshots, no problem.
Yeah, this is an absolutely gruesome start for Dignitas in every way imaginable. 6-2. Their economy is just continuously getting shattered. Every time they win a round, Fnatic, you know, take a couple in return. It's really brutal. And again, JW's 11-1, so he's only died the one round so far as well.
I'm pretty sure they're happy they've got that new economy working for them right now.
Yeah, I mean, but the way that they're losing, it's even like questionable whether how much it's even doing, right? It's like, yeah, it's like, you know, you're not even getting to the 5 like they win 3 rounds Fnatic, then it's a single round for Dignitas, then it's 2, then it's like it's actually the worst algorithm that you could be running for losing at the moment.
Yeah, just getting absolutely annihilated. Harry, okay in a position. He's solo right now. 4 players stacked on B for Dignitas. That solo pushed long, and so far Fnatic are content to sit and wait. They know that Dignitas are going to be in a tight spot economically, and so they're waiting to see what kind of shenanigans Dignitas are going to try to get up to in this round. I like to see the patience getting shown here by Fnatic, the discipline. And with Crypt and Brolan both, oh, he might be able to... Nope, he's been spotted. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Harry.
And obviously the issue here is that... All right. Not turning around for it. That's dangerous. The issue here is that obviously if the AK goes down, then no one on the B side can you know, come and pick it up again. But it's obviously a calculated risk, you know, hoping that if he can get a kill and sneak away or get a double kill or something like that, then that'll force them onto the B-bomb side and there'll be a whole army waiting. It's not such a bad calculation, really. Harry actually sticking around. That could be an interesting play if they assume, which they could have at this point, that he's probably just fallen all the way back once he was spotted. He's got a real chance to sneak in a kill, shoot someone in the back. He still needs his teammates to come up to the A-bomb site from the other side, though. I think Forrest is in the right area. That's not going to be enough, though.
They just know he's there, though. That's the thing. You can see. And so, oh, well, Flush has found him. So that's it. Harry is out of the picture now, and Fnatic have not run into anybody else. They know that the rotation is going to be coming from B. They've still got Flush back there watching Connector, and there just isn't a prayer here for Dignitas in this round. And, yeah, with not a single point of damage being done to Fnatic, and you guys are sitting on Deegs and a USP, don't even give them the money. It's like Dignitas right now are just running away.
Yeah, there's not much to accomplish this there. I mean, I think maybe they're gravitating to try and pick up the AK that Harry lost over there by the birthday party area, but that's already been completely occupied, so...
Oh, Flusher might gift them one here if he gets greedy. Yeah, probably thinking better of it. It's real risky stuff if he steps into those tunnels.
Yeah, probably not worth it, is it? Some random shots coming out, and 7-2. Fnatic just... They're looking very frightening at the moment. It's very cool.
Yeah, this is a lethal Fnatic. This is the kind of Fnatic that's playing well and that is looking like they're going to move on to the semifinals of the upper bracket here.
Well, yeah, I mean it's a little bit early on, but yeah, so far.
Is it, Anders?
yeah. We don't want to call it yet. Don't want to call it yet. Listen, just saw the camera there for Harry. He must be a time traveler because I haven't seen anyone. Oh wait, we got Quad Push. We'll get back to that in a second. Quad Push did effect. Oh, he likes him. Freiburg, lucky to be alive. I would love to see that from his point of view as well. Oh, he's gonna swing for it. Forrest. He knew as soon as he was back around, he was like, oh no, I'm in the middle of a hallway and I cannot escape. That is really rough. I haven't seen anyone wear the reverse like cap since the 90s, similar.
The reverse cap?
Yeah, like Harry, next time we go to his camera, check it out.
He's got the reverse cap going?
He's got the, yeah.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. I just feel bad for Forest in this round because that is the appropriate response, which is, oh, they're going for the quad boost, quick rush, and like get in there quick and take the map away from them. Broline is just a step too quick, just a little bit too fast there for Forest.
I think maybe a lot of people were thinking in the warm up, in the lead up to this match, Dundgren was being, you know, inappropriately harsh towards Dignitas, but but right now, I bet even Dundgren's thinking, man, I should have gone even harder. Could have doubled down.
I don't know if we can show any of that on broadcast.
Yeah, well, maybe we can. We'll have to find out. Some deep flashbangs, cool Molotov there. A little bit of confusion, I think. Brolin taking some team damage in the middle of it. Quick trade, and again, they're kind of in the right position, Dignitas. I mean, they have everyone here, but they're not winning any of the fights. And at the end of the day, that does make a bit of a difference. JW being handed his second death of the game so far to his 12 kills, leading us into round number 11.
Yeah, that's okay. I see what you mean with the cap. Flat bill as well.
I mean, listen, I don't want to be like some sort of fashion judge. I can't wear caps at all. I have a giant head. None of them fit me. It's a real issue.
You know they have hats that are literally designed for that, though, right?
Yeah, but I look like a moron.
I need to see this now. I'm giving you my hat later. I need to see this.
We can try it. It looks ridiculous.
Oh. Freiburg hoping to get lucky with the HE over the top. Not going to do it. And this is Fnatic. I was about to say coasting through here, but Felicia takes a Deeg shot to the face. There you go. Nicely timed there from Golden. Once again, everybody on Dignitas getting pretty low in health. And 4 on B again here for Dignitas, so just hoping that it's going to be the B site that Fnatic wind up at. Nice little boost, a little bit of a peak.
You know, right around where they are, so a little bit to the left of where they're making that boost, you can do a much cooler triple boost.
Okay.
That'll get you way, way further above the building. You can spot people as they come out the tunnel.
That's nasty.
I'm waiting for someone to take me up on that as well. It's really awesome.
Dude, Fnatic's reads right now are so insane. Like,
Yeah.
Dignitas keep going for these gamble stacks, and none of them are working.
Just think of, I mean, it would be an interesting study in just like the changing of Fnatic over the years to contrast this versus, you know, the super highlight when, you know, when they had Olaf and everything, and how like aggressive they would have been in some of these rounds. So like the fact that they've added this slowed down element in rounds where they probably feel like, you know, so I'm sure JW and Flusher are just thinking, Crims has always been way more reasonable than the other two, but like I'm sure JW and Flusher are thinking, why are we doing this slow? We already won the round, guys. Let's go, you know. But the fact that they've added that element, I think it's actually making them a very dangerous team all of a sudden.
Indeed.
Because that was the one thing you probably were hoping for in the past if you were playing, you know, Fnatic, was that they would give you like a round where it's like, yeah, they just challenged all of our Deagles and we somehow won the round, and now maybe we've got a shot at getting back in. But if they're going to play them like this, it's very hard to deal with.
JW is just outrageous, dude. Come on.
Listen, he lost that fight as soon as he tried to switch to the burst fire.
Yeah, but he just lost his AWP for nothing, essentially. I mean, he's got 12 grand in the bank, so he's probably not feeling like it's the hugest of losses. And at least on Dignitas' side, they weren't able to save one. They would have had the money to buy one for Halsrick. But on the Dignitas side, this is going to be our first tactical timeout getting called by the team. I'm not seeing Freiburg talking, so I'm assuming that it's Vendetta who's probably jumping on these guys right now. Hera's doing a bit of a chat.
Have we got any lip readers in the...
Do we have a camera on Vendetta right now? Need to see the that glorious stash. What?
We did in the past. I'm sure he's broken in the meantime.
He's probably broken the camera since, yeah.
Smashed it. He's done with it. Yeah, well, I really don't even know what the real plan would be here. Holzerk looks like he's pushing for a little bit of aggression, which, you know, I don't mind. I think it makes sense for Dignitas to try and do something like that. Just try and see if you can win an early fight get in a 4-on-5 and put some pressure on the Fnatic side. They're all outside of B really early on. See if they're going to go for a quick execute.
Flusha lurketh in the depths. And this is, yeah, Harry looks like he gets spotted just as that smoke clears. Heath is there, 1-for-1 trade. Brolan just does not miss. Another molly through, and Harry could be charging right into the waiting arms of Flusha. But the smoke goes down in the nick of time, and Friberg going to hit a brilliant headshot on Brolan. This is excellent. Dignitas still managing to trade. Turns it into a 2-on-2. Flusha needs to find this kill, and he's not going to manage it. So it's all on JW now. 1v2.
He's got so much time. So yeah, the smoke's going to go away. And all he needs to know is where they are, right? That's the information right now is what's going to make the real difference for him. So he's trying to figure that out. Even, you know, you see he's not actually scoping up when he's peeking, just wants to know. Bit of a smoke to maybe buy some space, but that is being covered. Oh, big opportunity there. JW knows it as well. Deagle's out instead. He's mad. He's going to go straight up for the fight. Friberg's on the other side of the box, and he'll land that kill. Nice triple from Friberg. And another round on the board for Dignitas. Third one. They absolutely need to win the next 3 in a row, and the pistol round on the second half. And then we can sort of mentally tune back in and say, all right, now what's up?
Good on Friberg. What a hero round from him. And he had the advantage, the angle there at the end when JW peeks into him. But JW had an idea. Like, he knew that he was close. That's crazy.
Yeah.
JW had that lineup. He knew that the guy was close, and yet Friberg, you could see the difference in the models there, what JW can see versus what Friberg can see. And so Friberg has the advantage, and he did not miss the shot. So well done. Nice try by JW, but it is going to be Fnatic trying to pick up the pace here.
And that's going to work. Also, he's woefully out of position, and I don't think he even realizes. He might still not realize. He's finally going to get hunted here. And now I think it's dawning on him, wait a minute. They were all the way up. That's an incredible change of pace, and it absolutely catches Holzer completely off guard. Friberg coming in again, trying to be the hero and succeeding. Harry will go down to GW. It's another 3-on-3, but if not for Friberg, if he just gets one and gets traded, which is very likely, that's it. That's probably the round. Now, I don't know. It's anybody's guess.
Yeah, Friberg just making big plays here to keep Dignitas in this. Clutching it last round versus JW. This round with the double. Fnatic making the adjustments finally. Just saying, okay, if you're going to play 4 on B early, we're going to punish you. And now they have everything going for them here. As long as about to get cleared up, Krim's still maintaining a very strong presence at the main entrance to A. And so the split's about to come through, and Friberg, he's going to be hard-pressed.
Forest just used the last smoke they had down at the B-bomb site. So again, if the bomb goes down at A, they're going to wish they could have that smoke back. Friberg far enough back. He's got a Molotov, so I don't know if he could throw it onto the actual plant or not. Now it's going to be very tricky because they just blocked him off with that grenade. 20 seconds. Yeah, he wants to do that, but it's going to be too late. I mean, it's a cool idea. Still got to appreciate it. JW sneaking in and taking down Friberg, and once again,
he's ruthless.
Yeah, they're all over the place, and Dignitas almost have to try and do this, even if it's so unlikely. 2-on-3, but they can't, 10 rounds on the T side of Overpass. It's so difficult to handle. JW, another triple in the round for him. So he's 16-5 right now, and Forest out here, again, the lack of a smoke. It's really, really important, and he's going to go down to Flusha at the end of it. So 10 rounds on the board for Fnatic.
This is so wild. This performance from JW, 16-5 right now from JW.
It's crazy.
But then he's still got Brolan and Krims. Both have got 10 kills. Not a single player on Dignitas has broken into double digits yet. It's just Fnatic are hitting all of their shots. And Dignitas are lacking firepower. That's the main thing here on the Dignitas side. These duels just keep going Fnatic's way.
Yeah, like it's got slightly better in the last couple of rounds, right? At least it's, down into the 2v2s or 3v3s or whatever. But it's just, again, the economy is also having a big impact on this game. Deep smoke in towards the monster tunnel. Aggressive setup once again for Holzerk, and he's not that far behind him as Forest down in the connector. So if Holzerk gets a kill and starts to fall back, maybe Forest could come up and shoot someone in the back, but forget all of that. Brolan dead on point there, taking down Holzerk, and Forest, he's going to live, but now he's weirdly, I don't know where he wants to go from here. Because again, he's going to go towards the B site, and maybe that's like the only thing that he could do. But the problem with that is it just leaves the A bomb site completely undefended.
The mad thing is, what's really entertaining is if Fnatic are fragging this hard right now, I mean, upper bracket semifinal is what's on the line.
Yeah.
And, well, we can get into that after this round. The push is already going to come through. The retake, nicely done. Freiburg again coming up with some big shots. And JW missing a key one of his own. And so now the pressure is on. Dignitas already going to be on that bomb. And they keep falling to Crims. 5 seconds, and he gets the kill. Crims! Unreal! They just cannot get anything to go their way, Dignitas.
Turns out, it doesn't matter how many people you put in front of that AK-47. It doesn't work. You need it just cut them all down, and they were giving their all to try and defend that.
That was a 2v4.
Yeah.
Oh, what I was saying is, well, you know, if Fnatic just keep fragging this hard, OG, MIBR, they're going to be playing against one of them in the next round of this playoffs. This is the upper brackets.
Yeah.
Both of them are going to be sweating bullets. I mean, you're not going to want to play against a Fnatic where JW's dropping 17 kills.
No. Yeah, they're looking like a scary team to run into at the moment. JW kind of expecting that. Freiburg goes down, and Flusher probably should have had that kill, but bested by the MP9 somehow. He's just hunting him. He's so relentless. Yeah, this is the best version of JW. It's a really entertaining one to watch where he's all confidence, and he's just taking every fight that he could possibly get. 11-3, and Harry out here in the open. He's going to get caught as well, leaving Heap alone. And I don't know if we can do anything at all. Flashbang's pretty well timed. No one's seen him yet, but that is just a matter of time, surely. A little bit of a surprise factor there. Oh, and he sprays down Brolin. That's not bad at all. Big double. Heap trying to get that 4th round as hard as he can.
And now he goes up against the raid boss. 53 seconds on the clock. And 1v1. JW with the AWP. Let's see if he's going to check bank or not. Heap, of course, aware of this. This turns into the waiting game. I mean, Heap could just sit and wait. He knows that JW has to plant the bomb.
I mean, the longer it goes, the more Heap is going to also start to think, maybe he went B. You know, do I have to sort of go and look? Do I have to find out? JW's backing off. Heap, good timing for it. He sees him and doesn't quite catch him. 24 seconds now. Again, it's not so little time that he can just run straight to B, right? If it was, 12 seconds, he'd just run straight for it and he'd know immediately. But, faking it out with 10 seconds left. That is so dangerous. Not going to get a response yet. Planting, even though he's exposed to the upper, that's so dangerous. But so far, he's still alive for another couple of seconds. He's got the right idea. JW actually hits him right through the wall and now crouching down, trying to stay out of the line of sight and ducking in behind. That is so cool. 10-second defuse. It's a long time. JW is going to pick... Well, did he pick up a rifle? No, it's a 4-second defuse now, and JW's just waiting for it. He's trying to make himself invisible. He was hoping that Heat would come look for him, but it's a full 10-second defuse instead for an 11-4 end to the first half here in favor of Fnatic. What a way to get started. Still, that is a disaster for Dignitas, no matter what. There's no other way to put it. They are in a lot of trouble on this map, and I think it's going to be nearly impossible to come back. We'll see if it actually will be in the second half, right after this.
Tonight on Flashpoint.
The New York Times says it's so unbelievable, it's now believable. Come on down to the Blind Spot and get 15% off new and used cars. Warning, blind spot may cause side effects including drowsiness, headaches, nausea, rashy skin, anal leakage, and an overwhelming sense of joy.
We are back. It is the second half, still the first map between Fnatic and Dignitas here at Flashpoint. The winner will go to the upper bracket semi-final. And, well, thank God it's a best of 3, because otherwise, you know, Dignitas will probably already be out of it. This first map has not gone anything like they would have wanted. They've run into the absolute monster version of JW. He's 18-5 at the end of the first half, and he's continuing here, getting a double kill. They will lose Flusher and Crim, so it's sort of an even trade, but it is just JW adding to the madness. And we'll see, Brolin is kind of weirdly on his own in a very, very dangerous position right here.
A 3-on-3, but the heavy hitters are still alive. Yep, there's Brolin. 2 headshots, and he's going for the third as well. Gets it. All 3 headshots, and the pistol round goes the way of Fnatic. 12-4. Brolin looking unfazed as usual.
Yeah, he made that look so easy. Like, whatever, guys. All right, 12-4.
Day in the office.
I mean, even if Dignitas win that pistol round, I don't think that's going to really make the difference. They have just not come quite as fired up as Fnatic have been in this. That much is beginning to be clear. Running right through, Heath with the Tech-9 charging into the tunnel, and he's, yeah, now they know at the very least there's grenades everywhere, and a lot of confusion to add to that. Golden nearly getting the kill on Holzark, but they're actually doing a great job right here. They can actually maybe, oh, Golden! That big double kill. I was going to say they were nearly done with the task there, Dignitas. If they could have got the Golden as well, they get a bomb plant, it's like a 2-on-4. I think at that point in time, they probably win it.
Please reload. Finally. Oh, he's just setting it up for his teammate, and now, whoa. I thought for an instant that they had spotted Forrest, not the case. Now, of course, they know where he is, and Brolin's going to catch him out. And so, Brolin with the AUG, going to keep that alive. The FAMAS survives as well. MP9s were lost for Fnatic, but Golden, you can see, he got so many kills. He's already up to 4,500 bank, so he'll be able to get a rifle this round if he wants one. And with no bomb plant for Dignitas, I mean, do they just keep forcing? Really, you are going to be hard-pressed. And then it's looking like it's going to be the half-buy. So they're going to be taking this seriously, Dignitas. They're not going to force their way into oblivion. They are going to save this round and look for the full buy in the next.
I kind of appreciate that. I think it's a you know, not a bad idea to try and keep your focus as much as you can. Because the problem as well, if you get into that mindset, we say whatever, guys, let's just buy. This map's already done. Then you have to think about it. You're going to be playing a second map, so if that kind of psychology creeps in, who's to say that won't also spill into a second map? So keep trying and keep you know, keep the focus as much as you can. Forrest, you know where he is. Can we? Oh, he's not going to get anything. Aim punch at the end, and it will be 14-4.
Did Crim's, like, is that fat finger or what? Did he get the Nova on purpose, or did he?
I'm sure he did.
Absolutely. And he might just hold on to it for this round as well. Just keep building that bank on the side of Fnatic.
There's something... I do think that Nova is the most satisfying shotgun. Like, it just feels right, doesn't it? When it works. Shutting people down.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. That's why I always bought... I never got into the swagger thing. I always bought the Nova.
Yeah.
Just good times. Oh. HE. Doesn't quite do as much damage to Harry as I thought it would there. Unfortunate the timing.
They're all in sewer right now. And only Golden is inside, but the thing is, with 2 people and connected this fast, if they get the timing right for this door, it could be real interesting. JW going to come charging out. He should be dead already. Forrest, that's a little bit of a mess up and enough to get himself killed. So now, yeah, they have the bomb plant, but they're stuck inside of the bomb site mostly. Kind of an awkward scenario here. Brolin with a wallbang shot on Freiburg to take him down, and it's just all over the place. Oh, that would have been an insane shot from Brolin. We're going to need to see a replay. Krims with 2 kills from the Deagle, and Harry's going to get found. What? I desperately need that Brolin wallbang.
Yes, please. But, dude, Dignitas can't hit a shot to save their lives, literally.
No, they really, I mean, yeah, mentally, it feels like they're not quite in it.
Forrest, man, that's the spray and pray that you don't see from Forrest. Usually Forrest is the one who's keeping his pool.
Check this out. Headshot right through.
Get decked. Oh man, this is ruthless here from Fnatic. 15-4 map point, just fully bought up.
Ruthless, but also in some sense, you know, like
Merciful.
Merciful, yeah. Not letting them linger. Just saying, you know what? This is the end. It's right here. Heath with a little bit of retaliation, gonna come in with a kill on JW. They do have AKs. Those, oh yeah, they're very, very good for exactly that kind of a fight. And also apparently, you know, picking up in usage. Brolin's been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Crims, I haven't seen using the Org a lot at all, but slowly, maybe more and more people will be converted.
Brolin is the young generation, isn't he?
Yeah.
Scopes? Oh, I understand this. Except that Brolin's always played CSGO, so I don't know. It's not like he came from COD or something.
Oh, you're right. I mean, I really appreciate the fact that it exists as like as an option right now. Some people starting to wake up to it.
Listen.
Maybe in a couple of months it'll be everyone.
Anders, you can keep your progressive views to yourself. Thank you.
Listen, I'm just saying somewhere inside there is like a Counter-Strike purist where like the AK and the M4 are the only things I care about ever, and the AWP and maybe the Deagle. But you know, we have to embrace the fact that it's been a while since that was the case. Brolin coming up with a kill there. Crims also lining up a headshot on Holzerk, and that is going to be the end of the map. 16-4, an absolutely grotesque performance from Fnatic.
I mean, they look so unfazed right now. Just another day in the office. This is, I mean, this is what Fnatic are capable of. They get into the boot camp, they start really locking it down. They're known for horsing around. And you can see JW, you know, he's still got the freedom to get out there and make plays, but they do. There does seem to be that next level of seriousness that comes to the fore from Fnatic when they do play together like that all together in a boot camp.
Absolutely outrageous. That's only the first map of the best of 3, obviously.